Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Welcome to the program Wisdom of Hadith. In this program, we explore the meanings, wisdom, and significance of the sayings of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And we also try to establish a connection of a hadith of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam with our work and life. So today we have a hadith of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam that has been narrated by Sayyidina Abdullah bin Amr bin As radiyallahu anhuma, and the hadith is La yu'minu ahadukum hatta yakuna hawahu tab'an lima ji'tu bihi. The translation of the hadith is, none of you truly believes until his desires submit to that which I have brought. Now, what do we learn from this hadith of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? The first thing is, desires play a vital role in leading to, so many problems, especially leading to sins. The beginning and the starting point of sins and all, other bad deeds, is desire. You have desire for something bad, then that desire, converts into a sin. And the same happens with, the desires that are not that are not sin actually, but the desires, take your interests from the hereafter to this worldly life. And then you are confined to the luxuries of this life. So apparently those desires might not be actually sins, but that might lead you to, the things like luxuries and the things like, longing for living a longer life and longing for living forever in this world, and that is not possible. So desires, are very important in this sense. So the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam tells us about, the fulfillment of faith, that you become a true believer when you submit your desires to what I have brought. So this refers to, the revelation, this refers to the Quran, and, the instructions that we have, the commandments that we have from Allah Almighty, the commandments that we have from the Prophet of Allah, Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So what was revealed to the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? As a believer, we have to submit to that revelation, and whatever is there in that revelation, whatever is there in the Quran, whatever is there in the hadith of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, we must accept, all those commandments, and we should surrender. So this also makes it clear that if we just bow down and if we just surrender and we perform sajda, for Allah Almighty, so with this action, our desires should also surrender. So only if your head is, bowing down and you are doing this for Allah Almighty, but your desires are not bowing down, your desires are not surrendering to the will of Allah Almighty, it means that there is so much for betterment, there is so much to be learnt about your faith, and there is so much to be done from your side that is required in Islam, and that is required in terms of your faith. So nowadays we hear about liberty. So apparently, if we think about liberty, and if we talk about liberating ourselves, so if people talk about liberty in terms of doing whatever you want, whatever you desire, and for example the things like sins and the bad deeds and the acts of immodesty, and if we say that we are free to do all this, and this shows that we have liberty, and this liberty should prevail, and this liberty should be appreciated. So we should think about it, that if apparently this liberty is telling us about being free of for whatever we do, so this is actually not freedom. This is actually not liberty. So this is actually slavery of your desire. And this is what we read in the Holy Quran in Suratul Jasiyah, where Allah Almighty says, have you seen he who has taken his desires as his God? So if you are, feeling that, you are having liberty to do sins, and you should be given this liberty, and you should be going on in this life, and no one should stop you from doing sins or bad deeds, so it means that you have become a slave of your desires. This apparently looks liberty, but this is actually slavery of your desires, and you have become slave of your desires. So this is where Islam liberates you from the slavery of your desires, and it teaches you to follow the commandments of Allah Almighty and whatever was revealed to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and in this way you become a person who is a blessing for the entire society. So when you submit your will, when you submit your desire to Allah Almighty, and you follow His commandments and whatever has been revealed to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then your life changes, and you practice the manners and morals that have been communicated to you through the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and you follow all his sunnah and all his teachings in all the matters of your life. Then your life become a blessing. Then your life becomes a blessing for everyone who is around you. So what do we learn here? We learn that when you follow your desires, you become harmful for yourself as well as for others who are living with you, who are with you in this society. And on the other hand, when you go against your desires, or when you submit your desires to the will of Allah Almighty, and you follow the commandments of the Quran and the teachings of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then all your actions and all your deeds become good, and then you become a blessing for the entire society. So this is what we learn in this saying of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Inshallah, we'll further explore other ahadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in our next episodes.